Well, to build strong institutions, we are also saying that the rules shouldn't only be there, they shouldn't only be well known, they shouldn't only be enforced, but they must be internalized. When we say rules are internalized, it means they've been obeyed and they've been respected to the point that they have become part and parcel of the lives of the people. If you allow the obedience of rules to the point that they become part and parcel of the lives of the people, then you don't need a police officer or a law enforcement agency to be there to police their implementation. People are used to obedience to the point that they don't need anybody there to be instructing them as to what to do. It is when obedience to the law is seen to be part and parcel of the lives of the people that we say the rules of the game are internalized. And to build strong institutions, the rules must be internalized so that nobody goes to hide somewhere. A police officer does not go and hide in a cave knowing that vehicles that are speeding will just surface and then he said, I have arrested you. If you go to developed countries, the rules are internalized to the point that sometimes even when the law enforcement agencies are not watching, people would want to do the right thing. You sit in a vehicle and the first thing that is internalized, the first rule that's internalized is that you pull your seatbelt. And you don't need a police officer to tell you to do so. But in other jurisdictions, in many parts of the city centers of Africa, people drive without their seatbelt on. They need a police officer to inform them, to instruct them as to what to do. It means the rules are not internalized. But to build strong institutions, you need the rules of the game to be internalized so that obedience will not spend too much effort in exacting obedience. You wouldn't have to bring about police spying and watching police on the street, ensuring that people are doing what is right by way of driving, and then you wouldn't need to spend a lot of resources punishing people for non-compliance and for non-obedience to the rules of the game. And so you cannot talk about strengthening institutions when the rules of the game are not internalized by the people. It is very important. We must have the rules must be well known, the rules must be enforced, and then beyond enforcement, the rules must be internalized. And I'm saying it is only when the rules of the game are internalized that you wouldn't have to go extra mile of recruiting law enforcement agencies, empowering them to be exacting punishment and to be making themselves scary and fearful so that people would comply with the rules. You may not need them in countries where rules are internalized. In countries where institutions are strengthened, rules are very much internalized, and you don't need anybody to tell you to do the right thing. People themselves, the idea of doing the right thing and following the laws and complying with the details of the laws are ingrained in the hearts and in the minds of the people. And so they don't need anybody. When this thing happens, when people are obeying rules without recourse to the police, without being threatened or not as a result of fear of the police, and they are going about their activities, obeying the rules, without compulsion, we see the rules are internalized. It is important for this to also be to be present in our quest or in our interrogation of the central argument of the institutional school of thought, and in our quest to strengthen institutions. I'll talk about the last one in the next lecture.